guys. I hope you all are doing well. This is the information from class on December 1st. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. All right, guys. Today we're going to be looking at some very specific language. We're going to be looking at some cause and effect language, some cause and effect. So when we think about cause and effect, we're thinking about being able to link two different actions. So the action that started it, the cause, and then the effect, what happens because of that. So if we think about some examples of cause and effect, we can think about, let me move this. We can think about things like the virus right now would be a cause. It has made things happen. And so some effects of that might be we have online class now. We can also talk about wearing masks in public. Other effects might be we cannot visit family and friends. So when we think about cause and effect, we're thinking first about the thing that makes everything happen, and then the outcomes or the effects of that cause. And today we're going to be looking at some of the language that we use to link those two. So we're going to be looking at probably the most common today. Today we're going to start by looking at because. This is one of the most common ways that we talk about cause and effect actions. And when we think about because, we are always linking because to the cause. So if we look here, even in the word itself, you can see the word cause in because. So as we are writing these sentences, and these sentences are going to be more complex sentences because they're going to talk about both the cause and the effect. So not just one or the other, but both of them and how they relate. We are going to be using because, and it's always going to be linked to the cause. So for example, if we're looking here at this example, we would say something like, because of COVID, we have online class. So because of COVID, I guess we can say COVID-19 to be consistent. Because of COVID, we have online class. So this sentence tells us the cause and the effect and links them together to be very clear about what we mean. So let's take a look now at how we use because. Now, if you have your book, it's going to be on page 35, maybe 34 in your book. Let me double check. Yes, it's going to be page 34 in your book, in the student book. So page 34 in the student book. Now, if you have the older book, you're not going to see this box here, but you're going to have the same examples. So if you have the older book, then you won't see this box, but you will see all of these same examples. Now, let's take a look at this little box at the top because this helps explain what we use this for. So let's take a look at it sentence by sentence. The first sentence says, use a because clause or because of phrase to give an explanation for something. So this explanation for something is just talking about our cause and effect. So you're going to be talking about the cause and the effect of something. So we have two different options that we're going to be talking about today: because by itself or because of. So because and because of. Now let's look at the second sentence. Use because in a clause with a subject and verb. So when we use because, we're going to be using it when we have both a noun and a verb in the cause. So if we look at our two examples here, they're the same words, but the because phrase is just at the end and the beginning. But it says, Anna can't reach the smoke alarm because the ceiling is too high. So the cause is the ceiling is too high. The effect is that Anna can't reach the smoke alarm. And we're just using because we have both a noun, the ceiling, and a verb, is. So because the ceiling is too high. So it is a full noun verb clause. So we're just using because. So now let's look at when we use because of. Use because of before a noun to make a phrase. So when we only have a noun, we're going to use because of. So with the same idea, let's look at the because of example. Anna can't reach the smoke alarm because of the high ceiling. So again, the high ceiling is the cause. Anna can't reach the smoke alarm is the effect. But we're using because of because this is only a noun. The high ceiling is a noun and there is no verb. So because there's only a noun. So let's do some quick practice just to make sure we understand. Again, we're using because when there is a noun and a verb, and we're using because of when there is only a noun. So take a second, think about numbers 1 through 5. Are you going to use because or because of? Pause the video, answer those, and then you can start again. All right, hopefully you are good to go. So number one, because of the snow. So the snow is only a noun. There's no verb. We don't have one of those. We only have the noun. So we're going to use because of. Number 2, blank COVID cases are rising. We have class online. Going to be because. So we have both a noun and a verb, COVID cases. Verb are rising. So we're going to use because. Number 3, because of COVID-19, we must wear a mask in public. So we only have a noun, so we have to use because of. Number 4, because you studied, so we have our noun and our verb. You did well on the test. Because you studied, you did well on the test. And number 5, because it snowed last night. So we have a noun, it, and a verb, snowed last night. Some schools are closed. Take a second, just read through those sentences, get used to the way that it sounds. Because of the snow, roads are closed. Because COVID cases are rising, we have class online. Because of COVID-19, we must wear a mask in public. Because you studied, you did well on the test. Because it snowed last night, some schools are closed. So just pay attention. Because of with the nouns, because with nouns and verbs. All right, let's take a look at some more practice. So in your book, on page 34, you will see this paragraph. So this is the paragraph from the new book. In the older book, it's a little bit different, but not much. You're going to be doing the exact same thing. I want you to take a few minutes, read through, and in these blanks, you're going to put because or because of. Because or because of. So pay attention. Is there a noun and a verb or only a noun? Go ahead and pause the video. Finish this. You can do it in your book or on a piece of paper, whatever you want, and then restart the video to check. All right, let's take a look. Lay wanted to bring a cake. Lay wanted to bake a cake because it was her neighbor Margie's birthday. Lay needed to go to the store because she didn't have any flour. However, her car had a flat tire. She probably got the flat tire because her tires were very old. Because of this problem, she couldn't drive to the store. She couldn't walk to the store because of the distance. It was more than a mile away. Lay had a clever idea. She went to Margie and asked to borrow a cup of flour. Margie was happy to help because she had a lot of flour and because she was a good neighbor. 2 hours later, Lay returned to Margie's house with a beautiful cake. When Margie opened the door, Lay shouted, "Happy birthday!" Margie was very surprised and happy. Because of the nice surprise, Margie had a wonderful birthday. So hopefully you were able to check as we went. We used because when there was both a noun and a verb, and we used because of when it was just a noun. All right, the last thing I want us to practice today is doing the full sentence, writing out the full sentence with the cause and effect and because connecting them. So this is on page 35 in your book. This is page 35 in your book. And you'll see they have called it the problem and the reason, but it is the effect and the cause. So if we look at the two examples that I've given up at the top, let me underline this so you can see it a little clearer. So number one, the effect is you couldn't sleep last night. The cause is noisy neighbors. So if we're writing a sentence that puts those together, we would say you couldn't sleep last night because of your noisy neighbors. So it's just a noun. It doesn't have a verb. So we use because of. Number two, you couldn't make cake. The cause of that, didn't have any eggs. So for a full sentence, we would say you couldn't make a cake because you didn't have any eggs. So we have a verb here, so you just have to add you to have both a noun and a verb. Now I want you to practice doing full sentences. So I want you to take a look at numbers 3 through 7. Numbers 3 through 7. Take a minute, pause the video, write the full sentence using because or because of, and then come back and we will check it. All right, hopefully you have checked that. So let's go ahead and look at number 3. So number 3, the neighbors couldn't lock the door. The lock was broken. Let's move that. So the full sentence would be, because the lock was broken, has a noun and a verb, the neighbors couldn't lock the door. Now, this because the lock was broken could be at the beginning or the end of the sentence. Both are okay. You could also say the neighbors couldn't lock the door because the lock was broken. So this can be moved to the beginning or the end of the sentence. All right, let's take a look at number 4. Number 4, you couldn't change the alarm battery, didn't have a ladder. So the full sentence, you couldn't change the alarm battery because you didn't have a ladder. So we have a noun and a verb, so we use because. Number 5, the children couldn't play outside. The cause is the rain. So our full sentence would be, the children couldn't play outside because of the rain. So we just have a noun, so we use because of. All right, 2 more. Number 6, you couldn't come to school. Car had a flat tire. So our full sentence is going to be, you couldn't come to school because, and usually we would add a possessive, your car or the car had a flat tire. So we have a noun and a verb, so we're just using because. And last but not least, number 7, couldn't buy the house. High price is the cause. So our full sentence, you couldn't buy the house because of the high price. So it's just a noun, so we use because of. All right, for homework, I want you all to be doing some practice with this. So we've gone over it, and I just want you to do a little bit of practice, and you're going to be doing that practice in the workbook. So you're going to be looking at workbook pages 32 and 33. 32 and 33. So you're just going to be working with because and because of on workbook pages 32 and 33. All right, guys, I will send you pictures of those workbook pages and let me know if you have any questions. I will see you in class next Tuesday. Reminder, we do not have class on Thursday, but I will see you at our normal time next Tuesday online. All right, guys, have a good day. I will see you later.